Here we go now, there, YouTube. I'm going to try and keep my streams to solving one issue, unless questions arise and stuff like that. But an issue I'm finding a lot, I've got 3 puppets set up here, but if I quickly pull up the search bar, it's this character here. I've just taken her head. It happens with characters that you've created, or if you're doing a head swap. But if you've got a puppet and you place the head in a certain location, or the head is a certain size, it can cause issues. If I grab this one, for example, this one is attached to the head. If I get this one and I'll scale the head up, it's just to prove a point. And do that, and then go back in and try and possess it. See how, like, we cannot see the character. That's an issue I've seen a lot. If I just rescale it back. This one here, if I do the same thing, but if you look, it's attached to the neck. If I get, get the head and scale up to roughly what I had it before, and then do it there. As you can see, I can still see the character. There's multiple things you can do to solve the problem of what this one had, in that the puppet disappearing. Generally speaking, a lot of people will come in, go into the actual thing, and I like mine, the zoom, the distance, to be 1.2 to a 1.6. That's the distance I like. Okay, for example, if I pull out this one here, see how small the character looks on screen? That's going to be like a 2.0 to a 3.0 scale distance. I can bet you right now without even checking. But I'll go in and I'll look, open it up. And let's check its distance. 3.0. If I now adjust that to a 1.2, how I like it, and then choose the character, now the character feels more of the screen and it feels more personal, which is what I prefer. This is a media molecule character, so if you want to use it, it doesn't come up as, it's an edit of that. Oh, it does, but it doesn't come up as, like for when you go into here, for example, and go to My Creations. Like if you go to that one, for example, it'll say that it's, view cover. See how it's got there, it's a remix of that by me. And then if I go to that one, it'll say it's a remix of another one, because I use the head and I use the skirt of a different person's creation. With the media molecule stuff, it doesn't do that. And just so you want to get this one here, and when you go even closer, it will say a 0.8. It's way too close for my liking, but 0.8, if I come into it, the character has disappeared. But just so you want to be that close, my suggestion to fix it on an existing character, and you want to go in really close, is grab the puppet, scope into its head, grab the clone tool, use the grid, and clone it to the side, or above, it doesn't really matter. Ideally, you would also take it back one, so that it's no longer in the head sculpt. Then go into the head sculpt and make it invisible. Use the neck sculpt, so you grab the head sculpt here, make sure you turn movable off, if it's a multi-sculpt thing, because that's a multi-sculpt, so it's a group. So it's no longer movable, bring it in to the same spot it was at. Then all you're going to do is grab roughly where the neck will be. So you come into the next off tilted, so we'll go say there. Is that the, nope. Come on. No, that's shoulder. That's head. I don't even know whether the head's got an actual... Okay, we'll move. I'll leave it there for now, just to prove the point. So it's now attached to the upper torso. Ideally, you'd attach it to the neck. Hang on, I wonder if I can get it from the back. Oh yeah, I might better get it from the back. So if I grab the head... Okay, now it should be attached to the neck piece. Turn the grid snap off. I can zoom out. I haven't adjusted the camera. Let's go back in. I have not adjusted the camera, so I'm still in that close. But if you see, I can now get in nice and close, and the character stays visible. It's the best way that I can suggest to people to fix the issue. Because without going off topic, a lot of people, when they're like, if they're sculpting, for example, on the puppet, where are we? Clone it. I'm just going to grab this puppet and move it to the side. Just say I want to build, we'll say the face. Go in. I want to sculpt, so I want to make a face. I'm going to mirror it. We'll just say I'm going to make a little what do they call them? Bonbons? What do they call them for the hair? You come in and so surface snap, so it would be on the head. Go roughly where you want it and go like that. A lot of people, when they're doing that, they'll go, oh, I want a better set to do it, so I'll grab the puppet and I'll scale it up and make it easier to see. Don't do that. That will cause issues. The biggest issue is the movement of the character. So if I scale it up like most people do, and then choose the puppet, it's huge. You zoomed way in, and it moves slow. So it's janky. It's not a good idea. This particular program has, the way it's made is you can go in as close as you want. I can let you go in not that close. Grab, oops, I want too many. Grab the shape I want to use. And I can just say put 3 like that. I can then back out. It's nice small details. And if you want to go even smaller, you can go smaller. Grab the thing, go in as close as you want. Grab the sculpts you want to use, and scale it. Just say I want a little, that. That's pretty small. It's hardly noticeable. It'd be like moles or whatever. And then when you use the puppet, it still works perfectly fine. So don't scale the puppet. And ideally don't get, because I'll show you this one here. If I go to here, go into its camera and go set it to default 3.0. Oops, 3.0. So that one there is standard. So if I go to it, that's how far away it normally is. It's like, that is too far away from me. If you don't mind that view, if you're doing a certain sort of gameplay, then that's fine. But I like it in nice and close. So instead of just scaling the puppet up, or anything like that, set the camera how I like it. Grab the head, so like I did with that one, there's the head. Currently, it is standard. So if I push play, see how the head fell? You want to turn that off. So that now, if I do it, it does not move. Now obviously, because it's got the dangle parts there, this is where it takes a little bit of adjustment. So if I reset it back in and go into here, you can see the hinges there, there, and around here. You have to readjust them. So those two there, I'll click them. If you press X on the actual thing, and then go across the other one, press X again, or cross. Then left shoulder, or sorry, L1, and then square will open up its thing. My tip, turn auto lock, the lock rotation, and the use limits on. And then for these, because they're not going to be, they're not flaccid or limp. They are fluffy or springy. So you want to go to this one here and turn the springiness up. Ideally, you could grab the original head and check what it's setting at. But I'm going to tell you now, anywhere between 80 and 90 is a good starting point. Put it to there. And then with these ones, because they're multi-directional, and these are just bolts, so they're single directional. We'll do them separate. We'll do them separately. Again, I can zoom in as close as I want. Grab all three. Left shoulder and the square. These ones here, I'm not going to do them springy. I'm going to leave them like they are now here, but I'm going to make sure that the limits is turned on. And then you can choose the degrees. If you've got multiple selected, the one that you left shoulder and square on, you will see the, let me just get into a spot. You'll see the angle thingy here. I can go into on another stream on how exactly the bottom marker, the top bar marker, and the blue marker influence how it's going to move. But I'm not going into it right now, but pretty much that is as far down as it'll go, that is as far up as it'll go, and that is its starting point. So it starts on the down point. So if you move that up a bit, it'll start slightly further up and have a little bit more movement. I'm not going to worry about it. Leave it as it is. No springiness. Now tightness will, when it moves, how hard it is to move. So if you've got it, for example, if you turn tightness right up, it's going to take 75% more effort to move it, if that's how you want to say it. Springiness, if you go to 75%, it's going to spring back at 75%. And that is the degree. So that's obviously a 46-degree angle, and it's going to stay within that as much as it can. I'm going to leave that as that is, and we'll back out, and we'll hide them. So now if I press play, see how these ones here are flopping around, but that one is not. If I grab the thing and move it still moves a little bit. So it's kind of doing what this one here does. Like, as you can see, if I go in and push play and grab this character, see how it's moving around? It actually looks a little floppier than what I've got the other head set at. I reckon that's at closer to like a 60 to 75. But as I was saying, if you want to check it, open it up, bring it in. It's got none set. Okay, might be set in the actual inside, but whatever. So if I go there, and instead of being 80, I'll go to 70, just to add a little bit extra flop to it, and then I go play. Then if I grab it, move it around, that looks a little bit closer. I reckon 75 is spot on. So they're obviously at 0 springiness, and that's at like 70% springiness. So if I grab, for example, this one here, okay, click, and we'll turn him up to, I reckon just 75, didn't I? And do that. Now if I click on that one, see the way the I suppose the ones above the ears are moving? They move very similarly to how the original moved. So I've corrected that issue with about 70 to 75% springiness. So that's how you correct any movement, but if it doesn't have movement, then you have to worry about that step. And with the thing now here, I'm going to stick it on the puppet. See how the white outline is surrounding the entire puppet. If I click in once, now if you see the white line, it's still on the hip, it's still lighting up the whole puppet because the hip is the center of the puppet, it's its origin. If I go up one, you'll see that the bottom part is no longer got the white outline, just the top part, because that one there is the child of that part. Same with that one and that one. So if I bring up my X-ray, this one here, yellow parent, blue child. So that one there is the parent, and that, and that are all children. So its origin is there, and it comes out from there. But so that's how you tell where the origin of the puppet is. But what we want to do is stick this onto the puppet. So we're going to do a head swap, which I love doing. I love to get someone's sculpted a head. I'll make a body for it and I'll stick it on my body. But I don't want it to be permanently attached. I want it to be swappable. So what we're going to do is, there's two ways you can do it. Like I showed here. Attach it to the head or attach it to the neck. If you're going for a bigger head, or if it's got lots of hair on the back or spikes or something like that, it will interfere with the camera. Do not attach it to the head. You'll have camera issues. You can zoom out to fix it, but it's not recommended. Grab the head and place it over the puppet so it's got the white outline, and we want to go to where we want to attach it to. So if I go behind it, hover over the neck and keep tapping until just the neck has the white outline. It is now zoomed in on the neck. I can then now move forward to roughly the right spot. Let go. Of course, I didn't have any sort of like snapping, or it's not gridded properly on it. I used free precise move, which makes it easier to align it. So if I look to the side, I can say, okay, back and forward looks fine. Side to side looks fine. That now looks good. I can back out. The head is now attached to the puppet, and if I possess the puppet, like so, it all works. If you're going to do this method, if I do an extreme movement, it's going to be hard to see. Actually, if I shrink the head down, it'll make it easier to see. This is just a precautionary thing. If I grab the head, and I'm going to scale it to roughly, say, there. And then I'll just bring it down so it's... You can see the top of the original puppet head. If I go and possess the puppet now, and I move, see how the original head is not always centered upon the new head you placed it. All you have to do with that is grab the original head and make it invisible. Now it's hidden, so it's there, it moves, and it all works. That is the best method for head swapping, but it doesn't just do it for heads, any body parts. If I grab, for example, hand. This is one of my creations. It's a hand for placing on your puppet. This particular one is the newer, more updated version than the most popular one. But just say you want to place that onto the puppet, you do the same technique. Grab the item. It's already set with the movement off, so you don't have to worry about that. Hover over where you want to place it. Keep tapping until just that's lit up. That's ideally where I'd place it. But because this is a hand, and I want to make the actual hand piece, the original piece, is going to be invisible, but I don't want this to become invisible. Go one more. So it's now going to place it there. I'm not going to go too detailed on lining it up. So that's roughly in the right spot. Just to make it move better as well, actually move it forward. Go into it. You can remove that and then scale that to the size so it fits roughly the piece you're placing it on. and then turn on your, give us a second, go into your X-ray mode, okay, and then grab the joint there, and see where the arm and the hand actually align. Place it as center as you can get it into that spot. I'm not going to do the other hand, I'll leave just this one here. Then you're going to back out and see how that one's lit up with the outline, but that one there is not. That means that I can now get that one and hide it, and it'll be just the hand. So if I now back out and go to play mode, the hand is attached, and you can't see the original one. So that's how you body swap. So if you're doing if you've made a head, you want to place it on another body, or you've made a body, you want to place a head on it, or you want to put hands on it, do it like that. Yeah, so there you go. I'm going to call it here at 20 minutes. Hopefully that helps. I'm not gonna upload the save because it's not that hard to do yourselves. My creations. So if you want to go to me and go, for example, if I go, the last one that's publicly available is my 6 puppet. If you want to try it with that, go for it. Download it, swap it over, put your own head face in there, whatever. Let's see what's another one I've done. The best one, in my suggestion, would be go my lady puppet and use her. She's a very versatile puppet. But I want to call it. You guys stay safe. I'm out of here. And I will catch you next time. I might do another couple of streams of this during the week. We'll see what happens. But either way, stay safe, look after each other, and I'll catch you all next time.